Well, good morning, my algebra students, and today we're going to be talking about compound inequalities, and we're going to break it into two parts. The first one is called and, because we know this is and when it's less than. So when we read it from left to right, we can see that there's two less than or equal to signs telling us that this will be an and situation. For example, if I want to have a TV delivered between 8 and 12, then the hours I would be available is 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Between that set of numbers, between 8 and 12, versus an or situation, if I wanted to have a TV delivered, and I could have it delivered before 8 or after 12, that would mean that they would have to come before 8 o'clock in the morning, but at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I wouldn't be available, and they'd have to come after 12 or before 8. So first we're just going to do the less than. We could tell that it's and less than right there. So we know this will be definitely a and situation, and I can choose to write it as two separate inequalities like this and solve them separately, and I would just subtract 2 from all the sides, and I would know that this scenario would be between 2 and 6, and it's equal to, because it says it can be equal to, so we know we fill that in, and it can be between them. So we could write it like that, but really what we would do is this bottom one, we would write it between 2 and 6. Now, I'm solving the same inequality, but I'm doing it a faster way. Who doesn't want a shortcut, right? So here's the shortcut. We know that we're solving for x, so we subtract everything by -2, and we've already solved, and it's already the same as what we've already done. Let's take another look at this one. And in class, we did this all as you tried. So if you want to pause the video and try it here, that's completely fine. So first, I'm solving for x. And to solve for x, I see that I have to subtract 3 and divide by 2. Again, I can see it as two separate equations, and solve for each one. Subtracting 3 and dividing by 2. And again, I'd have to do it for the other one. Subtracting 3 and dividing by 2. And then I would graph this from -4 to 3. And remember, I read it and write it from the variable's perspective, so I know that it's x. X is greater than, really important to note that, x is greater than or equal to -4. And then it's also x is less than 3. And that's how we know what it should look like. Again, here's my shortcut version. I just subtract 3 from both sides and divide by 2. So nice. When we talk about the less than situation, it's much faster than the or situation. Go ahead and try this one, pause the video, and then I will show the solution. So in this, of course, we are adding 10 to both sides, and we can graph it. X is greater than 1 or less than 5. Here's an official you try. Go ahead and pause the video, and let's see how you did. Hopefully, this is how you solved it. You subtracted 5 from all the sides and divided by 3, and got n is greater than or equal to -3, and n is less than 2. Now, how do I write an inequality from a given number line, right? Well, I know that it's going to involve a 2 and a 12, and I put the x in the middle, and I just say what it represents. We can see that x is greater than 2, and it's less than 12. And we read it from left to right, we can see this is an and scenario. Go ahead and try this one and see how you do. We know it's -4 and x is 7, and it can be -4 or bigger than that, or it can be less than 7. One more. You try. And hopefully this is what you got. Okay, we're going to take a look at the OR scenario in just a minute.